need to do is figure out what you're going to do with your threshold. So here I'm butting up the new tile to the old floor. So I'm just cutting along the old floor right in the middle of the door. The next thing you're going to need to do is just pull up all that underlayment from the previous tile. You're going to go through and make sure you give it a good thorough sweep. Check for nails or screws sticking out, remove, or pound them in, whatever's easier. Check your subfloor for any squeaks and add screws as needed. Vacuum all the debris. Get your measurements for your toilet flange, the floor register, and the overall length. Transfer all your measurements to your wonder board. Here I'm measuring out for the toilet flange. This is for my floor register. And then my final measurements, the overall length. Here I'm going to use the tape measure. Okay, I got to double check there, but I'm going to use my tape measure as a straight edge. Doesn't need to be perfect. Use a paint can lid to draw your circle. Double check the size to your toilet flange. Now here I'm going to use a trowel, which happens to be 4 inches by 10 inches to draw out the floor register. And you could just measure it if you wanted to, but this is just quick and easy. Flip it around so you're using the straight sides. So now there's a few different methods you could cut it. So I'm gonna cut this one with a grinder and a sponge with water. And then the next cut I'm gonna demonstrate it with just a knife. Either way works. Apply thinset to your subfloor. Trowel it around evenly. Take your time, do a good job. One thing I forgot to mention earlier is don't make it exact. Cut your overall measurement a little bit smaller. 1/4 inch on each side would be fine. So here's my piece. I already drew the width on there. Now I'm just gonna draw the length. Actually, I'm gonna use the cutoff piece from the previous one. It's gonna be the same length. And then for this time, I'm gonna use my knife. After you got them in, go ahead and screw everything down. Approximately 8 inches apart. Go ahead and apply your thinset. Now don't get too carried away with this. Just go as far as your hands can reach, so you're not having to be kneeling in it and making a mess. So you're gonna apply some thinset to the towel. Just one by one, start laying them down. I'm using the self-leveling system, so here I'm gonna put the clips in, and I'm not gonna put any wedges in till I get the first row almost done. As my father-in-law says, butter it up and lay it down. So at this point, I'm ready to start putting in some wedges. So just note that as you squeeze the wedges in there, the tiles can shift a little bit, so just be extra mindful of that. One thing I forgot to mention is I did figure out a layout before I started laying tile. So that's how I know that this second tile the second row, the second tile where it needs to go. And now here at the toilet flange, when you get there, so the way I like to do is you're just gonna go ahead and set the tile where it's gonna be, and you're gonna mark the outside edges of the actual toilet flange. So now you're gonna just set the tile in a clean area and grab 4 other tile pieces and butt them up together and push them in as tight as they'll go, because then as you draw your circle and you put the spacer, it'll make your circle a little bit bigger, which will fit nicer. So the paint lid that I'm using here is a little bit smaller, so I'm just gonna cut on the outside of my drawing. Hope that makes sense. So now one by one, you're just gonna cut the tiles on the outside of the line. Go ahead and clean up the edge a little bit. And just repeat the same process for the rest of them. I'm not gonna fast forward to this part because not all the cuts are the same, so you can kind of just see how I do them. And sometimes if the tiles are a little bit bigger, your toilet flange will end up on maybe 2 tiles or 3 tiles as opposed to 4. Every once in a while you'll get it where it lands on a full tile, and then you're just going to measure from the wall and draw your circle that way, just like we did on the Wonder board. So here's the finished tile floor. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video. I hope that it helps you. Give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Let me know things that you liked or you didn't like, or things that you would like to see in future videos in the comments below. Until next time.